Hi, JG Pasterjack here from Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. In one of the coolest places I think I've been for a long time, inside the AMG parts hauler here at Daytona. This is the truck that services all of the factory-built AMG GT3, GT4 cars from the GTD class, from the Grand Sport class in the Michelin Pilot Challenge. Everything happens out of here. We're going to take a little tour with Ryan here and kind of see what goes on in here, why this is an amazing idea. But as you know, I am a product of the Florida public education system, so I'm not the brightest guy in the world. So we found a friend walking through the paddock here, Mr. Bozy Tatarovic. Come on over and say hi. Bozy, professional crew chief. Come on in, guys. You guys are working. See, this is how you know it's realistic. There's actually people walking through and doing this stuff. Journalist, mechanic, author, engineer,
all kinds of fun stuff.
Raconteur. So he's going to be the guy that might be able to actually ask some intelligent questions, where I'm just going to be pointing at things going, that's so shiny. So as soon as Ryan comes back, we will introduce him. So while he's back there, Bozy, tell us a little bit about your motorsports background. You've been involved in this business for a long time.
So I've been involved in a few different things, from just kind of stuff at home, kind of very basic, amateur level stuff, grassroots stuff, SCCA stuff, from just doing fun things for myself, helping friends set up cars, and then some stuff in this series here. So I've worked on a team in the Michelin Pilot Challenge series. I've crew chiefed a car in SRO and some of the other series, and then I kind of write about all that stuff. And I've also ran like a mechanic shop, a tuning shop, so I take all of those experiences and use them basically as a basis when I write about and cover this type of stuff.
Awesome. All right, so Ryan, besides being cleaner than my actual kitchen where I make food, tell us why is this truck here? What is the stated purpose of this vehicle?
The aim of this truck and trailer is to keep the cost for the customers down, so no one has to carry multiple parts, don't have to carry their own suspension, don't have to carry their own brakes. If they need anything, they come to us directly. We give them, they carry it. Basically, the aim is to keep every car running around the track as long as they possibly can with no issues. And if they have an issue, we come to us and resolve the issue. And
they always know they're getting the correct part because everything's homologated, everything. So how much of one of these race cars is on this truck?
So we support both GT3 and GT4 cars. And for GT3, we have probably 3 sets of mostly everything.
Wow.
For GT4 it's a little bit more because we have more cars entered, so we probably have 4 sets of mostly everything. Like we carry 1 engine for both cars, 1 gearbox for both cars, not high movers, cars super reliable, so it's mostly crash damage and consumable parts.
So what are the high movers? Like what's your hot dog and a Slurpee just walking in? What's everybody who's driving an AMG GT coming by and getting from you during a weekend?
Every weekend will be brakes.
And where are they?
Brakes are actually upstairs.
Okay.
So a bit hard to get to. But the car really is a very, very reliable car. The customers which we have are very good and they pre-order a lot of stuff. So most of the time it's just delivery at the track. In case they do need something, then we are here. Hardware, consumables is the big one, nuts and bolts.
So show us a drawer here.
So in here we just have some GT3 suspension. So all in these cabinets is just wishbones.
So this is basically a tiny Amazon for your GT3 car.
Everything is full. Every nut cranny is full of everything you can imagine. So far I've been doing this since AMG came over to USA, and so far we've never had a part not on the truck to stop someone running.
Do you have any parts that you've never had to give to anybody?
Engine and gearbox.
Really? So what's the typical relationship between you and the customer when the truck shows up? Your customers all come and check in, and these are folks that you know, obviously, and you're servicing all year. Are they going to kind of give you a list at the beginning of a weekend of here's some stuff we think we might need?
No, I would be in communicated before the weekend. Ask them what they need. They'll give me a list. I pick it, I have it ready for them when we turn up. and then throughout the weekend they'll just pop in, like the guy just then, pop in, need whatever he needs, we've got it, out the door they go.
How about service? If somebody breaks something or damages something, how do you make the decision whether or not you just hand them a new one or say, okay, this can be fixed? And are you doing any actual repairs on the truck too?
Not on the truck. No repairs on the truck, just brand new parts.
And is that's pretty much just a racing thing? It's just easier to not take a chance.
Without the proper equipment.
So, all of these parts, I'm going to grab some down here, and I promise I will put it back. Looking at like a label on here, so barcodes on there, which probably tells you inventory and stuff. All these parts are homologated too, which means they've all been through sort of a rules procedure.
Yep.
How, like, if you took this part out of the wrapping, is it still legal? Like how is that monitored as far as the rules enforcement for these parts being legit IMSA certified parts?
Good question. On the parts itself, it's got part numbers.
Okay.
With, I guess, the only stamp which I guess IMSA would know about. At the end of the day, when we give it to the teams, we know it's legal. After that point,
it's between the teams at IMSA.
Yeah.
So does IMSA ever come in and inspect it, all the stuff?
Yeah, IMSA will come in throughout the year and say, can we have a look at this? Which is no problem. We give it to them. They do their measurements, check it, and return it back to us.
Very cool. Wait, so do you have anything like this for your BRZs?
Nah, the BRZs are TCA class, the touring car SRO, so it's not that much support. But I've experienced similar truck with some other manufacturers, the Michelin Pilot Challenge, so I'm familiar with how it works.
Yeah.
So as far as preparing the truck, what do you find when you, like, what percentage of parts are kind of consistent on the truck versus what percentage do you pre-fill before every race based on customer orders?
So we basically have a list of minimal quantities that we want on the truck. So after each event, we'll come back and restock it to that level.
Yeah.
That's why we try and get in the customers a couple of weekends before to ask them what they need. So we load it from the warehouse in Mooresville, put it on the truck. So as soon as we get to the racetrack, and it's basically a fresh start, and we've got everything that we most need.
Is the setup for every track the same, basically?
Everything apart from Daytona, Sebring, Watkins Glen, and Tina and 24 hours of Coda, where we'll carry more parts. But mostly body work, just an extra couple of sets and suspension.
Do you guys support all the series from this truck?
Yep. So this truck does all IMSA series, does all SRO, and does Crovantic 24 hours at Coda every year.
Wow. So this just came from the West Coast, from the Winter Series?
Yeah. So it came from Thermal Club end of December. We won't be going to the next next one for sure. We won't be able to do. There's not enough time to get the truck in.
Yeah.
But we go everywhere. We haven't missed a race in 3 years.
Wow.
3 years.
So, talk a little bit about how this is organized, because obviously you have a ton of parts on here.
Yep.
What's the rationale behind the organization? Is stuff grouped in? Like, is this all suspension over here, or
All suspension here. Everything up on the cabinets has got a location. So I have a master Excel sheet, which I'll put the part number in or description, and it will tell me where it is. Just because we've got the amount of parts that we carry, it would be impossible for me to remember where everything is.
And this, I just randomly opened this, and even safety gear.
Safety gears, we have fire bottles, gearboxes, air jack parts, you name it, we've probably got it.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I'm guessing a lot of times stuff will happen during a session, and a crew member will be running over here to grab something, because I've been in similar situations in the past where something breaks and you want to take advantage of the rest of the session, or especially if it's during a race. So it makes a lot of sense to have small quadrants that are sectioned off.
And I've been on the other side, so I was on race teams, so I know how it feels when you're high and dry at the racetrack, you know.
When
I
you're
just
stuck with
need that.
Yeah. That's good. That's probably why you haven't gone missing for anything so far.
So is there anything? When do you have to tell somebody, hey, your weekend's done? How damaged would a car have to be for them to not be able to fix it using these resources?
chassis damage is the big no-no. As soon as you have a kink in the chassis, you shouldn't run.
But anything that bolts on is in here.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite cabinet in here that you're always going to and always opening and you see a face in the doorway and you're like, okay, that's gonna be 29. There you go.
I've got a worse cabinet.
Where is
The
that?
worst cabinet is hardware cabinet because like we've got so much hardware and you always go in it.
nuts and bolts and
It's just
stuff.
we need 4 of small
You have to
washers.
put in the gauge or whatever.
Yeah, which is that's why we're here.
Sure,
so.
sure, of course. Yeah, I was just
Can we see that one?
Just down there. But we have
Okay, but that's still organized and labeled by the thread and everything.
yeah,
so it's,
Still literally better organized than anything I own right now. So.
everything's got a part number, so it's easy to find. There's a Mercedes AMG it's a customer support portal, so it's online where the teams can order all their parts. They can find the part numbers because everything on the car has got a part number. Might not be labeled like there's no part number on the part, but
it's on the box.
and these are all every single one is full of hardware.
Do you guys have your own part number scheme, or do you share anything with the OEM like part numbers?
Yeah, there is some like anything which is an A number.
Okay.
Is you could buy that from a Mercedes-Benz
So that's
dealership.
the OEM transfer
Yep.
directly. Okay, very cool.
So on the GT4, there's a lot more road car parts
Yeah.
compared to the GT3. GT3 is very
customized.
Yeah.
Sexy little indexed nuts.
Yeah.
If you guys are leaving here north on 95, let me give you my address. And we have truck parking. It's great. You can stop by for a few minutes and give you my credit card. And
So do you guys take any old parts? So let's say something breaks during a race and Mercedes AMG wants to research it. Does that go through you?
Yep.
So,
We'll take the part off the customer. We'll either we have German engineers who come to each race.
Okay.
They'll either hand carry it back to Germany or we'll ship it for investigation.
Okay, so you guys handle that too, and
Yeah.
and then document it so they can figure out, or if they're trying to do an evolution of something to do an upgrade. That makes sense. Yeah.
They've got I think over 100 GT3 cars running around the world.
Wow.
It's all documented, so it's very easy to find issues if teams do have issues, and they can look back in the system and find what might be the issue.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that you have like mirrors of this truck in Europe and other places, something similar set up.
They've got 3 parts trucks in Europe. There's one in Australia and in China as well.
Wow. Okay.
so you guys have a shock dyno here that's got some stuff parked on it. Not getting too much use this weekend, but are you actually doing setup stuff in here as well, or is that just sort of to confirm?
It's more
Function?
service work for
Okay.
the GT3 car only.
Okay.
GT4 is we don't do any service work for.
How much setup information do you guys keep as well? If a new team just bought a car, comes to you and is looking for baseline setups for a certain track, is that something you can help them with as well, or are they on their own for that?
They're always willing to help. So Juan Carlos, you want to come down here a second? So Mercedes will send performance engineers. So Juan Carlos is working with Riley this weekend on the GT3 Evo car. So his role
JJ, nice to meet you.
in the whole process why he's here is to the performance of the Evo car, and he's got probably one of the most knowledge of the new car.
Awesome. So yeah, we could ask Ryan if a new customer maybe switches brands, comes over to AMG, is looking for setup information. How much support is there coming from you guys, and how long does it take somebody to get those? How close are your baseline setups that you're going to give them to what they'll eventually be using?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a department at AMG HWA called Performance Engineering. So that's what we do actually. Some teams we support them directly, and we are there at the track with them. But also teams that buy the cars and operate them, they can send requests, and we will send them a recommended setup. So there's a large database of experience that the company has, and that's the information that is used for all the AMG Mercedes customers.
Very cool, guys. Thanks for showing us. This is actually more impressive than I thought it would be. I think to some extent. So, have you ever trying to imagine any horror stories that would show up here, where all of a sudden everybody realizes they've broken the same thing, or they guessed wrong on brake pads. What does rush hour look like around here? Like how much service and in and out do you do, or is there a certain time of the weekend when everybody decides, okay, time to go to the truck? And
end of the day normally.
Yeah.
End of the day. We have a fully stocked warehouse in Mooresville, North Carolina, so we have a full-time guy there. So if we do become a bit pinched, we can get stuff shipped overnight from him. So normally under control. Crashes is the main one. You've only got a certain amount of stuff, and you have 3 or 4 crashes in the same place.
So on a weekend like this, when it starts raining, are a couple of these cabinets going to get unlocked?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Everyone's been sensible this weekend, so we'll wait to the race.
Yeah.
We'll wait for the race for that.
So what do you think? You buying an AMG Nick?
Of course. Just need some cash. So how much do the teams rely on you guys for consumables? So say if they have on their hauler, do they carry like a single set or 2 sets of brakes versus carrying 4 sets, and do they rely on you guys for that on a regular basis to pick stuff up, or is it just mostly like changing brake compounds and that's why they come here?
So we only offer 2 different compounds of brakes.
Okay.
So some teams use us for all the brakes, some do their own.
Okay.
Most teams will place the order beforehand, and we'll bring them 1 or 2 sets, depending on what they want. And then after that, throughout the weekend, they'll keep coming back, and if they need more, they'll come and get more. But we carry more than enough brakes to supply everyone here.
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So that 8 cars running, we've got more than enough this week.
And it has to make it so much easier for the competitors that they don't have to transport all these spares for a specific car that they've built, as a one-off. Everything's homologated.
Yep.
Every piece that goes to my competitor, I know is no tricker or more special than the one that I'm getting, because it's all been approved by IMSA and manufactured by you guys. So awesome.
We carry oil, engine oil, gearbox oil, air filters. Yeah. The only thing that we wouldn't carry is
Whole chassis.
we don't carry chassis. I'm trying to think what we would have on. Can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Something I've seen is that in a lot of times when you crash, there's parts that you never expect to break in a normal use of the car, but in a crash you can of course damage anything. Like in last year we were in Nordschleife and we had a crash. It was right behind the front wheel, so the catalyzer was bent in, and you never have. I haven't seen any teams like have that as a spare. And that was right before in the outlap. So we went straight to the truck. It was right there. We got the part and managed to fix the car before the green flag.
Oh,
Wow.
So that's something that I think is really good about having a parts truck, because you know that you have everything available and it's right there, and someone like Ryan will know exactly where everything is, so you get it really quickly, and you know that speed is really important to racing, not only on track but also in servicing the car.
So how long have you been managing the truck in?
This will be my 4th year coming.
So in that time, is there anything that you've either taken off of it because you weren't using it, or added to it because, oh my God, we're going through a ton of these?
Always been adding. Can't take off. Can't bring myself to do it. Because as soon as you take it off, you're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it.
I might
Yeah.
downsize, but I wouldn't take it off completely.
So for pretty much most stuff, there's at least one of something. He was saying about the catalyst and stuff like that. Even though it's collecting dust, that one day is gonna come into use.
Yeah, it's the 4th year of the cars. Well, fourth year of the GT3. Never sold an engine.
Yeah, that's really.
I'd love to take it off the trailer for some more space, but
Yeah. And do you guys like for stuff like engines? Do you guys do checks occasionally? Do you make sure that it's not like moisture or something isn't setting in, or how does that work?
if they see something in the data,
Yeah.
then they will.
Yeah, no, I mean like on
Yeah,
the truck
your
for storage.
stock, yeah.
Or does it just get a look every now and then, and
Gets
as
a
long
look
as
now and
as long as nobody's done anything to it,
Yeah.
it's ready to go.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the parts. So you have a warehouse in Mooresville that's for all of the U.S.
All
or
of the
North
US.
America actually, because
Yep.
most port and stuff like that.
Yep.
And do most of those parts come from Germany, or are there suppliers in the U.S. or?
Everything comes from Germany.
Okay.
From AMG HWA.
Okay, so everything's one central point and then spreads out across the world.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Both, I want to challenge him.
Okay.
How about stopwatch out?
Uh-oh.
Give him a part. See how fast he can find it.
Okay, hold on. Let me think of something. Let me think of something interesting. So, what do you have? Well, I'll ask. What do you have downstairs? What categories?
Upstairs is big stuff. So bodywork,
Okay.
brakes.
Okay. All right. So downstairs, I know you had dampers over there. You had control arms. What else? And hardware.
We have drive shafts. Every single different fastener.
Okay.
AC compressor starters, batteries. All sorts.
Okay. So let's see.
It's gonna be a tricky one, I know.
I'm trying to think of something very rare that would be very rarely used, but let's say AC pressure switch. Do you have that on here? Is that?
I will have it on here, but I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look it up.
Oh, okay.
So it's a rare.
Yeah,
part.
well, that's why I was trying to
Rare
find
part.
something really rare. Let's say. You guys carry shims and pieces for suspension setup.
Yep.
All right. Let's say we need some upper camber shims.
Okay. No problem. I like that one. Which size do you want?
11 and a half seconds. See,
That's very good.
I'm still shooing ducks out of the way in my
That's very good. That's what it takes.
that's-
That's how you get adjustments in mere minutes or
Yeah.
seconds.
So awesome. Well, hey, thank you very much, Ryan,
problem.
for showing us around.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bozy, for challenging. You guys know the drill. If you like what we're doing, like and subscribe. It's down here somewhere. Thanks to the folks at AMG for doing this. If you're thinking about buying a GT3 or GT4 car, you could do a lot worse. I'm just saying. It's like having a Pep Boys that just there's no air fresheners in here anywhere. Actually, there probably is. But all right, thanks very much. Thanks to the AMG crew. Thanks for Bozy for hanging out, and we'll see you again next time. Bye, everybody.